And we're live.
Again, round
Happy
two.
Friday.
Happy
Welcome
Friday.
back.
Thank you. Good to see you, my man.
How's your week been, man?
It's been intense.
No, we've got no time for that.
Okay, who cares?
We last week we said we need less news stories because we just can't cover it all in 30 minutes. This week we have more news stories.
Oh, we're not really following our own guidelines, are we? As usual.
No, as usual. So we're gonna have to go straight into it. We'll have to find out about your week another week.
Okay, who cares? Come on, let's get to the important stuff.
Let's get to the important stuff. So last week we talked about the Royal Pop.
Oh God, here we go.
And you and I talked about what fun it was, and just generally speaking, how we liked it, I think.
Yeah, jovial.
Well, this week, things went on sale, and, well, here's the headline from the FT. Tear gas and fistfights, no less.
You know, Andrew, what I don't understand is tear gas and fistfights are when you're defending democracy. But for a piece of freaking plastic, give me a break. What are we doing?
I mean, it was also predictable, wasn't it? Because let's face it, this is...
Was it?
Well, Swatch had exactly the same problem when they launched the Moon Swatch. Okay. Because they do this, they refuse to sell online. So they force people to go to the shops. And guess what? Now, I mean, I think the real issue here is the types of people who are queuing up to get these watches, right?
Andrew, are you suggesting that they are of a lower caliber and quality than yourself and myself?
I'm suggesting they're different to you and I, and different to the reason that you and I fell into this watch world in the first place. The sorts of people who, you know, used to be involved in I think the watch world has changed an enormous amount. And the reason I bring this story up, the point that I wanted to make is this is yet more evidence of my long-held belief that Instagram ruins everything.
Instagram ruins everything. I think people were the ones doing the wrecking here. I don't think Insta had anything to do with it.
You want to see them fighting outside the store in Milan?
I did. And, you know, but look, it's just, it's sad. It doesn't even make for anything remotely titillating or entertaining. It's just really dumb. Do you know what I mean? You're going to fight for that? For a $400 piece of plastic? Give me a break.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's sad, and it just reminds me that the watch world is not what it used to be.
Okay. But Andrew, sorry, but two quick things for you. You said we could have foreseen this, we could have predicted it, but I also think that they're acting in good faith. They're like, hold on, people will be civilized. They'll line up to buy the watches, and isn't it fair if you get in line, you can get access to this, you know, well, for a lot of people, terrific piece, you know, so. Well, these ones who are doing this a bit wrong?
I don't understand why Swatch don't just sell these things online. I mean, I think that their argument is, oh, you know, they're trying to create some kind of an exclusive aura to the thing. You know, you have to physically go to the store to get it. But last time I checked, Apple releases a new iPhone every single year. It's the most exclusive, expensive, you know, consumer electronics device you can buy. It's very much associated with luxury. And guess what? They sell it online. You know, you don't have to go to the store to get it. It doesn't feel any less luxurious.
All right. Well, you know, look, I have to give you back the one thing you said. You said Insta has ruined everything. I think that what I would be more specific about is AP as a, you know, as a moonshot for a lot of people has been so widespread for so many years. You know, such a long time since you and I went and visited the manufacture, and we went into that little wooden paneled room and saw all these gorgeous museum grade pieces. And since then, when these pieces get pushed again and again and again, I think the problem here is that anybody then who can have access to it figures, I'm getting an AP for 400, which of course is wrong for many reasons. So I can get why there's this groundswell of desire that comes into it. It's just when it ends up in that, well, it kind of breaks your heart. This thing's a bit sad.
Yeah, I don't think that these are genuine watch fans queuing up and fist fighting. These are scalpers. These are people hoping to turn a quick buck.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, if you, Andrew, in good faith, had waited, say, 4 hours or 6 hours on this stupid stuff. And
I wouldn't wait 4 minutes. What do you mean 4 hours?
But and then some big heavyweight dude comes and says the store is closed, or we're not going to open it, or you're not allowed in for X, Y, Z. I get pretty freaking mad. I mean, wouldn't throw chairs around, but.
Well, listen, from one thing that we can't get and don't want,
no,
to something else.
Oh, here we go.
That is out of our reach, and you can explain why.
Well, it's out of our reach because you and I spend every penny that we get our hands on. We never have anything in our bank accounts.
No. Oh, so this was your news story, and I'm can't wait to hear what you've got to say about it. But you seem to have not read the fine print, which is here below. Thanks for your interest. Applications for this year closed. Over. Your next application period is spring 2027.
Next year. Listen, okay, so
what's happened to the world? Do you remember the days when you used to be able to go into a shop and buy a watch? No more.
You and I remember days where we used to walk into a Rolex store and said, I'm so happy to be here. I've waited XYZ to get the watch. And they'd say, sir or madam, very happy to give it to you. Here you go. You pay, you leave with watch. No, listen, Naoya Hida, and company is something that I just came across, I think maybe 2 years ago, Andrew. And, as you know, I've gone out into the wide, wonderful galaxy universe of Seiko and Citizen vintage pieces almost exclusively. But this brand really cut through all of it because for me, it's the best of all worlds. It's got this great dose of fine, what people qualify as Swiss watchmaking because they don't believe anybody else can make a quality piece. The bouquet numerals that are carved into the dial, the movement's a bit more, hum-ho, but all of the work that goes into this piece and the fact that you have this very limited time window in which you can order them and they sell out, Andrew, in an orderly, organized, Japanese manner without anybody getting the shit kicked out of them, it's testament to me of the quality of these pieces.
Yeah, and presumably they sell online. You don't have to go to Japan to get one.
No, they sell them exclusively online. And if you want to go and see them, you have to go to make a reservation at the flagship boutique in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right. But Andrew, these are really genuinely desirable pieces. Look, they're not giving them away, okay? I mean, they're also pretty damn expensive. I just figure they're worth every penny. What
is expensive? Because it looks to me like they're millions of yen, but I don't know what the yen is worth. I can't do the math. What are we talking?
I should have maybe prepped because I do yen conversions to euros all the time. If memory serves me right, I think that 1 million yen, Andrew, is something like 6,000 euros. So when you're looking at about 3 million yen, you're talking about 18K.
Yeah. Okay. So it's that sort of ballpark.
Yeah. So again,
they're beautiful. I mean, in a development that will surprise none of our regular viewers, I'd never heard of them. But I think they look beautiful.
They're just it's the work that goes into them, and as ever, Andrew, it's a great reminder that incredible restraint, this quiet, beautiful, studied elegance that only the Japanese I find.
Look at this. This is the one I want.
Look at this, and Andrew, it's all hand engraved. Everything you're looking at on the dial. I mean, for the love of God, imagine that.
That's the one for me. 8.8 million yen.
Yeah, like I said, they're not giving them away. But in all honesty,
I know, but look at that.
Andrew, these things sell for a premium almost immediately. You'll never see another person wearing one. They know what they're doing. They control it. They have limited quantities because they're limited by how many people are working on these freaking things. It's a little shop doing it, and they do it all themselves. My hat's off to this. If you hadn't heard of this before, this is a real discovery, but it's something that you really save up properly for. Forget land of cheese and
listen, my birthday's coming up in September, so I suggest you start saving.
No, I'm going to get you the AP Royal Pop Humpalop.
Right. So from one brand that I'd never heard of to another one.
Marmont? What is that? Chateau Marmont's offshoot or what?
It sounds like a mermaid fucked a Bremont.
You know what? And it looks like one too.
Yeah, it does a bit.
What is this?
I'd never heard of these guys until I came across this article this week in Hodinkee.
Yeah.
And I thought of it because we were talking about Meistersinger last week, remember?
Yes. I do.
And of course, this is another example of just the one-handed watch design.
Okay.
But I think, far more elegant and interesting. And yeah, just a great success. I thought this was a great looking watch.
Well, Andrew, that's a lovely photograph, right? It's better,
Isn't
right
it?
there, and I can see now that the color of the single hand also is polished. I couldn't quite tell whether it was colored or not in the previous shot.
And you'll notice the name of the watch, which is great, Le Parfait, i.e. the perfect one, is engraved on the dial, but in such a way that it's only visible when it catches the light. It's in a sort of...
Oh, no way. Now that you're mentioning it, I see it. I couldn't see it before.
Yeah.
Listen, Andrew.
Isn't that fun?
I don't know. What is it made of?
Platinum, I think.
Yeah,
Andrew, it's beautiful.
Andrew, compared to what I just showed you, this is dog doo-doo, man. I don't care if it's made of platinum and what's gone into it. Look, just think about the Noyo de Hida stuff that I just shared with you and how utterly gorgeous it is.
38 mils,
What's
platinum.
That? Yeah.
9.2 mils of height. I think that's lovely. I'm
not a big fan of the Grande Vache lugs and this kind. I don't know, man. If you told me this was $500, I believe you.
No, it's not. It's not $500. It's a little bit pricier than that.
Okay.
Where are we? We're it's 11,000 Swiss francs. Oh, but as it says, as Hodinkee reports, limited to 28 pieces.
Oh, isn't that reassuring? 28 morons are going to buy this for 11 grand. Great, they can do it.
Let's see. Oh, don't worry. I got something else for you. You ready?
Here we go. Come on.
Okay. Now, this.
Yeah, we're getting.
Is the new Longines Legend Diver.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Now we're talking, right?
Now we're talking, my friends.
Now, listen. I have a confession to make to you and our 4 viewers.
We have as many as that?
I'd never paid any attention to Longines. I really hadn't. I guess because they're on the sort of more affordable scale, and I never tend to look back, if you know what I mean. I don't look at the sort of cheaper stuff if I can afford something better. And I think that's a terrible mistake, because more and more I keep coming across photographs of Longines and they keep catching my eye, and I keep thinking, God, these guys design a good looking watch. And this is the latest example, and I think it's stunning.
It's 42.
It's a little large. Yeah, fair. And lots of people are already on the internet complaining about why is it not 39. But this looks like a Jaeger-LeCoultre, doesn't it? It looks like a Polaris.
Yeah, except Andrew, if I say to you Polaris, do you say the new Longines Legend Diver 59? Now hold on, stop there, Andrew. This configuration, that I like. That I really, really dig. I'm like, okay, nice. But again, I'm not sure. Look, it says in 23 they launched a 39 no date one.
Yes, so the standard one is 39, and this is a sort of reinterpretation of the vintage model.
Yeah, and in the way some of the font is working and so forth. Look, the other thing is it depends a lot.
Look, I'll give you a little video for it if see if that doesn't get you going.
Okay. Who's done the hard work of actually filming one of these? Yeah, Andrew, I don't know, man. Look at that triangle up above. Doesn't that bother you a little bit? Oh, woof.
But those are the sort of more modern versions. But hang on. He's going to go back to the.
Well, he better do something to help us, Andrew. That would be useful. Yeah. I don't know. I say it's great. You're pulling, from your quite illustrious heritage, and the vintage pieces for these go for a pretty penny nowadays. But they're absolutely fabulous. Like what they did with the dial as well. The kind of speckling you have there. Finishing looks good. That mesh bracelet, I think it doesn't go with it at all. But the big problem is, why are you making a bigger piece when everybody says go small?
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair comment. And looking at the bracelet, I realize it looks quite thick.
Chunky.
But I don't know. I think, I for one am going to be spending a little bit more time on Longines from now on. They've caught my attention.
Okay. Well, Andrew, listen, one last thing, and this is the typical exchange between you and I where very important critical details like facts and names are missing. But Longines, if you go back, you look at, they've got a heritage model that I absolutely adore. And I think maybe, to be fair to Longines, for our next discussion, why don't I pop that baby up? It's not necessarily a new release, but it's for me, it's a successful example of what they can do. Here, not so much.
It's a compressor. Do you know what a compressor is, Eric?
Yes.
Do you genuinely? Because I didn't. I had to go look this up.
Okay, and what did you find?
Well, so this is it's a type of dive watch, and it relies on its waterproofness, on the fact that the deeper it goes, the more the case compresses, i.e. gets sort of tighter, and ironically more waterproof the further you go down.
Yeah, I mean, you end up dying in the process, but the watch, Andrew?
Yes, that's right. Your skull would implode before the watch does.
Especially in the
a day I'd love to see.
All right, so we agree for next time. Let me see if I can dig out this one beautiful heritage piece that I really find fascinating, and I'll give you that as an example of it done right. Yeah, look, that's not bad. You're catching angles of it, and it's not too bad, but not quite there either.
Disagree. I like that one. I like that a lot.
Okay.
Now we're going to cars.
Okay, look, Andrew, it's very simple. When was the last time you desired a current BMW?
Oh, it's not just years ago; it's decades ago. I think I'm not even joking. Honestly, seriously, same. I think I'd have to go back to. I'm not a BMW fan like you are, but whatever the model name was for the last good-looking 7 Series in the early 90s, right?
It's the E38, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
The one that featured in The Game with Michael.
Yes, exactly. That's the last time BMWs actually looked elegant and well proportioned to me. They've been hideous ever since.
Yeah.
That's not strictly true. There's an 8 Series coupe now, which is quite nice, isn't there?
Yeah. Yes, the 8 Series, but it looks like a kind of like a big, more elegant Mustang. They kind of fatten a little.
So we agree. BMW have lost their way. So what are we looking at now? What is this?
All right. So what we're
because I thought Alpina was just their tuner.
Yeah. So Alpina used to be a distinct brand, and just for the folks who aren't familiar with Alpina, Alpina was basically
including me.
Yeah, I'm helping you, by the way, so you can say something intelligent afterwards. We help each other, Andrew. It's Dumb and Dumberer. So Alpina took regular BMWs, and in the beginning they would add turbos. So it was a bit more performance focused, where BMW wasn't doing that. And over time, they matured into the gentleman's choice. So Alpina would take on standard BMWs throughout the range, and they would apply a huge dollop of torque, which is what you really feel in a car when you're moving forward at speed. It's not the horsepower that gives you that great swell of power, it's torque. So Alpina was very much focused on the GT part, Grand Touring or Gran Turismo, whichever suits your fancy. And it would be a very informed and rare thing to be seen. BMW recently bought out Alpina. Okay, and we haven't seen anything, and a lot of people were worried, and we're all looking at the mess that is BMW's current lineup and figuring, what the hell are they going to do with Alpina? Look at this.
So hang on. So a couple of things. So first of all, BMW already has their M Motorsports division.
We agree.
That handle the sort of hot BMWs, right?
Yes.
So what was the thinking behind buying this independent tuner?
Again, Alpina distinguished itself. It is not a motorsport-based or derived proposition. So BMW and Motorsport derives a lot of its tech.
Okay, got it.
And innovation from racing. Alpina doesn't do that.
Okay, that's fine. So question number 2 is, my understanding was that Alpina always took an existing production BMW and transformed it, but this is not that, right? Is this a brand new car, or what is this? What are we looking at?
This is what's got us all sitting up and paying attention. And that's why I wanted to share it with you and the other 4 people looking at this. Is hold on a sec. If you gave them free license in the same way that Mercedes gives AMG some license to create their own things, this is the first genuinely interesting piece of design I've seen come from BMW. I know it's labeled Alpina, but it's got a big fat BMW logo on its rump right there. Look at that ass. When was the last time you looked at a BMW's ass and said, "Ooh, I'll have a piece of that"?
Christ, I've just seen the interior.
All right, well, let's not talk about that now. The whole screen thing has really got to die quickly, please. Somebody save us from this.
The BMW interiors are an absolute mess, and what they're doing with their screens is just incomprehensible to me.
But
I don't mean the fact that they're big. I mean that this stupid slanted some Bavarian man thinks it's stylish to slant the screen.
Yeah, there you go, Andrew. I give you a 30-degree angle, cut off on the right. See, it slants. There's forward motion. And you're like,
well, technically, it also slants the wrong way, doesn't it? It looks like it's going backwards when it should be going forward. Anyway, let's not get hung up on that. But it's
all right.
But stand their interiors.
So, Andrew, remember, look, it's a concept. But hold on, I could get with that. If you look at some of the crap that AMG is releasing, and Mercedes and BMW have just been failing miserably.
Okay,
so gives me hope.
But this must be at least based on a production model, isn't it? It's just some new bodywork.
I wonder, again, haven't done my homework, Andrew. I think it's maybe based on the 8 Series Coupe that you were talking about earlier. I think that's probably the platform that's based on. But who knows? Maybe they're going to give them some license to do something.
I could find out by reading the actual article.
Yeah, but hold on.
Is what you should have done before today.
Yeah, no, but that requires rubbing brain cells together and trying to get some spark. It's very difficult. Anyway, I say job well done, Andrew. In terms of the first non-ugly thing I've seen in decades from BMW.
Yeah, it's a petrol car, right? It's not an EV.
As I understand it, if you scroll through fast enough, we can read it while we talk.
Well, that's. I just if I may, as an editorial aside, yes. I feel like we have some modicum of responsibility to our viewers to add a little bit of value.
Yeah, but Andrew, I thought this was about spontaneity and entertainment. So screw the facts.
I know, but if our conclusion every week is, you need to read the article for yourself.
No. Well, hold on.
I'm not sure what we're doing here.
We're giving.
Okay.
Anyway, my understanding is non-hybrid petrol, but again, it's a concept, Andrew. So it's 5.2 meters long. Look at the size of this. I mean,
they're not even going to make it. Yes, you're right. It's a concept.
It's a concept. So let's see. Maybe some of it.
My conclusion in all of this is that to me, it looks dated before it's even come out. It's got a nice arse. I'll give it that. The rest looks like nothing special to me. Plus, who wants a petrol car? Not me.
Yeah, listen, I think that's very short-sighted that you don't want a petrol car.
Come on, let's go back to the warm, welcoming world of watches. Now, do you remember?
Is this the end of our discussion? We're going to end with this?
No, we've got some more things for you.
All right, good.
This is the Breitling Chronomat.
Which I remember you had. That was your first.
The Breitling Chronomat was my first luxury watch. This is why I'm so enamored. Well, not enamored, that's not true. But it's why I notice when they do anything with it. And they've just redesigned it, and this is what they've done to it.
Don't you remember yours, how elegant and restrained and subdued and subtle?
I'm glad you said that, because this is a nice article by Fratello, by the way. And they talk about the history of the watch. I didn't realize this, but it didn't come out until the 80s. So it's a relatively new design by watch industry standards. And this is the model that I had.
Yeah, but Andrew, you had white subdials, black dial, if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus Christ, yes, you're right. I had white subdials and a black dial. Although the dial looked often blue because of the anti-reflective coating they use. It was a great looking watch.
It was a gorgeous piece. Can I ask you something? What happened to that?
Well, I sold it because I decided I wanted a sub, a 14060M, which on the whole was a good move, and I wasn't wearing the Chronomat anymore.
Yeah.
But you always have a soft spot for your first luxury watch, and that was mine. But anyway, so Breitling, poor Breitling. I so want them to succeed, but they don't seem to be able to do anything right, in my eyes. They've redesigned it. Here you go. I mean, they've softened everything about what made the original design interesting, and now it just looks nondescript and cheap to my eyes, anyway.
I know. I think, Andrew, it's also the part that pains, I think, you and I. Again, we're talking with several decades of taste that's developed and watches that we've owned, it would be, I would have thought, relatively straightforward for Breitling to really make more of all that great history. And like you said, designs that were chunky, that were a little bit tool-like, they had just enough edge to them to make them compelling. Why do we have to soften everything down? Why do we have to water it down and make it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It ends up nowhere.
You know what was genuinely special about my watch back in the day, and is still the case now, and I'll give this to them. That bracelet is unique. It's very, very difficult to find a bracelet that's genuinely a sort of different, unique proposition. That rouleau bracelet, as they call it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else that looks like that. It's really cool. It still looks good, I think.
No, Andrew, it's dynamite. But hold on, wait, stop for a second. Actually, I'm looking at the bracelet now as you're talking to me. I like some of that contrast work they've got in there. Yours was just all,
it was all brushed.
brushing.
Mine was all brushed. You're right. They've put some polished links in there now.
Yeah, it's got a little something going on and so forth. Anyway, look, you know what? It's the age-old story. You had it best when you had yours. If that makes it sound like old farts, then so be it.
See, unlike you, I did do a little bit of reading before today. And one thing I learned, which I had no idea about when I actually bought the watch in the first place, was these sort of applied markers at the 12, 3, 6, and 9. Those were physical elements that were literally screwed onto the bezel. And I know this because one of mine fell off and I had to screw it back in.
Okay.
And the reason that those were put there on the bezel is it was all about protecting the crystal, because the idea was if you're in a fighter jet and your wrist is getting knocked around and you hit it, you don't want it to be able to shatter the crystal. And so that the idea was that those elevated add-ons would protect the crystal.
I think also, I believe, Andrew, if you have your flying gloves on as well, it makes it easier for you to turn the bezel if you wanted to time something.
Well, I don't know if that's. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the case, because you're right. The bezel was phenomenal. It was very, very grippy for that. Yes, for that reason.
And it had. Do you remember the click it made, Andrew? I mean, I remember all that.
Yeah.
The click it made. It had a very loud winding sound when the rotor was spinning aside and so forth. It was colossal, and it went on for 2 or 3 seconds. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah. So that's what it used to look like. Used to look great, and this is what it now looks like. Nothing special.
Wait. This is going to sound like we're morose and disappointed with the universe. Nothing is as good as it was.
You're right. Well, we always veered towards Statler and Waldorf commentary. The two grumpy old men on the balcony.
Amen.
But there you go. What are you going to do? All right, listen, we're running out of time, but we just got 2 more quick things that I thought was worth flagging. The first is, it turns out, if you're dumb enough to buy a Cybertruck, you're probably dumb enough to drive it into a lake.
And to test Wade mode. Wade mode? How about drown yourself mode? Why can't we have one of those?
So apparently, this goes back to a tweet that Musk did years ago when he was amping up the Cybertruck. He said something about, it'll survive being driven through water and Jesus, one of the owners actually gave it a go, drove into a lake this week.
But Andrew, you've got to love what they put just after the headline on Gizmodo. Stupid person does stupid thing in stupid car news. Amen.
So the car ended up having to be pulled out of the lake. I had to tow it out of the lake, obviously. Yeah. And the guy ended up in jail, and that's the best place for him, I think.
Yeah, let's keep him there and incinerate the car. Everybody's happy. No news at 10.
Okay, listen, one last thing.
You tell me.
Have you watched this? This is Hodinky, our old friend Ben.
Oh, Ben.
Sitting down with Thierry Stern to go through the latest Patek releases. Have you watched the video?
No, I have not watched the video.
Obviously, we'll link to it in the show notes.
Okay.
And it's in many ways it's everything you'd expect. He talks you through the new releases. Ben is as sycophantic as ever.
He's lovely. He's a sweet guy, and he's beautiful. He's made a great success of himself, and he's got to do the deal.
No surprises, but there was one surprise, and I sort of knew this. I guess I'd never seen it so much in evidence as it is in this video, and it's just how unbelievably self-satisfied Thierry Stern is.
Ah, now this intrigues me. Okay.
I mean, please go and watch the video. It is
Okay.
it's just a masterclass in how to come off, frankly, a little bit unlikable. He's just supremely self-satisfied. He talks only in terms of I, me, as if he was a one-man band, as if he was cobbling away in his little workshop building the watches himself.
Give me a break.
It's really interesting, actually. Yeah.
What? Well, does it? But Andrew, are you a Patek fan or not?
So it's funny you should ask me that, because I've never really thought of myself as a Patek fan, but recently, and by that I really mean the last year or so, yeah, I have found myself more and more looking at them thinking, yeah, I'd love to own one of those. I mean, it sounds so obvious, doesn't it, for a watch guy to say that, but it's taken me a while to get there, and I actually would. And I'm not talking about the Nautilus. I'm talking about one of their proper, complicated, nice, not these things.
I hear
you. So yes, I guess I am a Patek fan.
Does it put you
how
off?
realistic that is.
But Andrew, does it put you off when a guy? I mean, he's the embodiment of the brand, right? I mean, it is him and he is it. When you hear a guy talk like this, does it put you off?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does. Well, anyway, let's not dwell on it, but watch it when you've got some time. What I've learned this week is that no one loves Thierry Stern as much as Thierry Stern does. That's my conclusion.
Andrew, in a world gone crazy, it's the only way to stay sane. Love yourself.
Practice self-love.
All right, we're at 31:40 seconds.
Yes, we need to close, don't we?
Let's do it. It was a good run, though. I'll try and brush up a little bit before the next.
A little bit of research, share some knowledge. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the weekend. Have a great one, and see you next week.
Have a nice time, folks. Ciao, ciao.
Okay.
Bye.